So good afternoon and welcome to Guided Meditations and More. My name is Ade Richardson and this is normally a daily 8 a.m. Eastern Time meditation. I've also we've been having guests on for interviews, various types of people, spiritual teachers. We've had professors, just people who come on and share a little bit about their journey on the spiritual path. Today, joining us from Maui, Hawaii, we have Yuko Furukawa. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. So she's here to join us, and we're going to have a discussion about nutrition and spirituality. So Yuko, I'm going to read a little bit. First of all, welcome, Yuko. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited, and I'm going to speak from my heart, and thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to read a little bit of your bio.
All right.
Just so that people are more familiar with you.
Okay.
I do this with all the guests.
Okay. Not only me, good.
Yeah. So Yuko Furukawa is a yoga practitioner, Reiki healer, founder of Happy Vegan Kimchi. Yuko was born and raised in Japan. After working at a hospital as an RN in Tokyo, she moved to Brooklyn, New York, where she immediately became attracted to the rich diversity, an environment where the freedom for creative expression was felt throughout the city. During her time in Brooklyn, Yuko has explored her passion for fermented food and discovered that kimchi was not only delicious, but was also filled with many health benefits. Yuko started making vegan kimchi using her original recipe. This was the beginning of Happy Vegan Kimchi, which she founded in 2015. Yuko moved to Maui, Hawaii in 2020 and continues to follow her passion for fermented food and spirituality. Yuko's desire is to live a sustainable lifestyle which embraces a natural and clean way of living, which includes using less chemicals that are harmful to the body and the environment. The environment is close to Yuko's heart, and she's always thinking of ways to leave a small footprint on Mother Earth. Yuko's journey continues, and on this journey, she continues channeling and listening to the messages that nature tells her at the foot of Haleakala.
Haleakala. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Haleakala. Yeah. And is that the mountain that you're living near now? Is that close to you?
Yeah. I can see Haleakala every morning and then every sunset, and it's very close. It's so big.
Oh, wow. And so they're
cold here. Morning and night is really cold, and then daytime is hot. So.
And you, so sitting at that mountain, and you being a Reiki practitioner, do you pick up on the energy of the mountain?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
When I meditate daily. So in the morning, we call it the mana here. It's like a purest energy in the morning. So just sitting outside. Or it's too cold outside, just sitting inside and see the mountain through the window and then meditate. And then I've been meditate like past 10 years. So I was living in New York 15 years, and then I've been meditate there too. So here is more like a quiet, easy to get inside of you. It's really easy to into the meditation, I think. Because I cannot see people much around our house, and then I all see is kind of nature. So yeah, it's helped me, I think. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And there's something about mountains and with people on the spiritual path. There's one that's close to my heart is Arunachala, and it's a mountain in India. I've never been there, but there's a sage, a guru. He wouldn't call himself a guru. He passed in 1950. His name is Ramana Maharshi, and yeah, he considered Arunachala a I'm not sure if manifestation is the right word, but a manifestation of Shiva. So yeah.
I'm also like, yoga practitioner. So I've been learning Tibetan Buddhism and yoga liver. So I read a book about all the gurus at that point. So I'm very familiar with those things.
Oh, cool. And so let's start with Brooklyn, because that's when you and I originally met through Kosuke. And
I love Brooklyn. Oh my God. My heart. Brooklyn is always my heart.
Yeah. And what led you from Japan to Brooklyn?
For love. Because my husband, Kosuke, moved, not my husband at the point, it's a boyfriend. And then he moved to Brooklyn. So I was working in Japan, but he moved, he just followed his dreams. And then I loved him so much. So I decided to move to Brooklyn. No question. It's just, I decided like, I'm going to do it. Yeah. It's a whole journey started, I think. It was like 2005 or something.
Yeah, and I guess we met probably maybe a little bit after that, or maybe around that time. Yeah.
Because at the point, my husband and you are Brooklyn College, and then he always talk about you, and he said, I met my first friend in Brooklyn, and that was you. That was you. And then he always talking about your mom too. He said, I have my mom in Brooklyn too.
Yeah, she always talks about him as well. She said, tell, Kosuke that his Brooklyn mom said hello.
Brooklyn mom, don't worry. He always has her heart in his heart. So
you said meditation started. Did it start in Brooklyn or back in Japan?
I would have to say back in Japan, because my spiritual journey started, I think I was like, for this interview, I look back deeply, and then I found maybe my grandma is always like my spiritual, like a hero is like a grandma. Grandma is always like so spiritual, and then she doesn't have religiously. She just believe what the energy comes, like a good vibes come or something like that. So she just sitting in front of the family Buddhism altar we all have in Japan, and then she just meditate 2 hours in a day, every single day. And her meditation is very original. She just talk about her family, like each person. So when I was a little girl, just sitting next to her and watching, she's doing it. And then it was like peaceful moments for me. It's afternoon, always like she started 2 p.m. And then it's a warm lights through the window, and then so quiet, and then only me and the 2 cats and then grandma. And then grandma was like, all right, let's start. And then she's sitting on her legs 2 hours, not moving. I know, I was like, grandma, your legs die? No. And yeah. And then she goes on and on, just like talking about all the talk about me and my sister and brother and my parents and aunts and uncle and the cousins. She just talk about each one. And then meditation finished, like 2 hours.
Wow.
I was kind of watching, and also I was waiting for this end because she also, always gave the family Buddhism altar to dedicate something, fruits or snacks, right, before play. So I was waiting because, after her play finished, the snack comes to us. So I was like, but always the snack smells like incense, senko.
Yeah.
Incense smell, I was like, damn, but still.
So you were in it for the snacks.
Right.
Yeah. And then but it kind of rubbed off onto you, and being around. There's something with my grandmother had a similar. She didn't meditate. She was deeply religious, but very compassionate, and would always reach out to strangers. And I always felt uncomfortable when she would take the hand of someone she didn't know and start rubbing their hand, and I would feel embarrassed. But there's something about, I guess that I hope some of that rubbed off on me. I don't know how much, but that sounds. So is your grandmother still around, or?
She passed.
Oh, okay. So
But I feel her really close, especially when I doing morning meditation. I feel like she just sitting with me.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I sometimes I make a phone call like this, "Hello, grandma," and then like imaginally she can say
Yeah.
something, and then we can conversation imaginally. But yeah, she's still really close to my heart.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So that got you kind of. It sounds like that got you thinking or feeling about meditation. You started to absorb it a little bit, and what really got you to incorporate it into your own life? Is there, did you just start practicing at some point, or what led you to a daily practice? Or
Yeah, definitely. I start doing yoga in Brooklyn. So, the yoga is meditation is in the same river. So it's organically just starting meditation. My dearest teacher in Brooklyn, yoga teacher, says to me, if you don't meditate every day, you cannot teach yoga. So I take really deeply the word, and I think it's true. It's really important, the physical practice you can do it, but like mental practice is you have to be patient and take time, and so. And
yeah.
then one day I got meditate, and then something happened. I got in sweet spot, and I feel so good in there, like a flowing, or like very warm and flowing. It's like a really sweet. And then, oh, this is good. And then I told my teacher about experience, and she said, oh, that's good, I think you're in the right path or something. And then she didn't say much, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And then just keep doing it. And then last 2 years, you read my bio, but like actually we moved to Brooklyn to Berlin, Germany first, and then
Oh,
back to Japan and spent 10 months or something, and then back to US. So it's kind of rough journey past 2 years.
yeah.
And I have 2 kids, young children, and then so with them and country to country to country moving is not easy. So so much changing, and then sometimes you don't know where I'm at. So I feel like meditation helps a lot. I didn't even imagine how helpful this is. The past 2 years was like strong attachment with the meditation, because I need to be, peace and calm, especially you are not grounding.
Yeah, that seems to be the case sometimes when life is very hectic. It kind
Yeah.
of pushes us to that inner peace that sounds like you had a very that sweet experience. I experienced something like it, and I wonder if after having that experience, when you meditate after that point, were you hoping that that would come back? Was that a no? Oh, good.
Never, because every day have a, actually different experiences. So I don't want to attach to this. That was great, but that's one. And then the other one came, and the other good thing came in, and it's like a shower, washing, and the other day washing. So we keep doing it. So I think so. Like once you had a great experience, if you stuck with it, you cannot, change.
Yes. Yeah. And it's good that we're talking about this because people that are listening, one of the common obstacles that happens, and it happened for me a little early on because I had very intense, energetic, very blissful experiences, and then I read a lot of books, and I knew not to get attached to those experiences because it could, you know. But I couldn't help hoping that they would come again. So it sounds like you were able to and just kind of realize it was an experience, a coming and going, but not the essential nature of who you are,
Just
So
experience and just enjoying what I see and what I feel. And it's like observing what you thought. And then, yeah, it's like important thing for me is observing my thought. It's really get into meditation helps me that kind of perspective.
so when you talk about, for let's say someone is new to meditation, and they're saying, okay, the I'm starting to meditate, and now I notice more thoughts than before. It seems like there's even more thoughts than I had before. Am I doing something wrong? What would you say to that person?
You are not doing wrong. And I'm so blessed you just sitting in 5 minutes or something. This is great thing. Just sitting and just breathing. And you don't have to go for a session or something like go another world or become a guru or lighting a body or something. No, just sitting, and it's like the same thing. Washing a dish. For me, washing a dish and taking my kids a bath or something like that. It's like a very simple, regular thing in life, and we have a doing so many things doing in a life, and then it just meditation is not special thing, just a part of thing. So if you sit 3 minutes, fine. You can close eyes, fine. Just look at the tip of nose, and then just sit and breathe. Just try to listen to your sound of breathe, and that's all matter, I think. If you
Yeah,
just started,
yeah, that I think that sounds like a good suggestion, and sounds like you're quite mature on the spiritual path. From what I am hearing, it sounds like you're very grounded.
good. Here, because yeah, I think I'm really grounding
Yeah.
compared to past moving things. But although that moving things, try to grounding myself, and yeah, always you calm, right? You peace, and world is entertain, right? And then you
Yeah.
go back to peace, right? And then
Yeah.
world entertain you again, right? So you have come back to your home always, so you don't have to worry about anything. You just come back to your home, right?
Yeah. And so we can when you're traveling or things are going on, you're still here.
Yeah.
You're still here at home. Some say you're still here in the heart, you know. And so, hey, do you feel like you took to meditation quite easily, or were there some struggles along the way, or
I think it's easily. If I struggle, I think I stopped for a few days, and then 3 days later, let's sit in the um, fresh air, and then start again. So there is no like a fail or success. I think it's own path. So you can't compare anybody. It's just like you, if you can't sit every single day, I think it's fine. And then if you sit once in a week, that's great for you, like no compared to others is really important things. If you see inside of you and a spiritual path, any spiritual path you are in, uh, no comparing.
yeah, that's a good point, because you do hear people that have all these far out experiences, and and then we can tend to compare ourselves to where they are, and we really never know what's really going on in someone's inner world. But it sounds like what you're saying is as well, as you put really nicely, is not to resist or kind of force your way through, take a step back. And
If you force it, your muscle kind of tighten, right? Tighten. It's opposite. We are doing it, right? So it's kind of opposite. We have to ex everything breathe out, exhale and then start. So always if you grab something, you inhale and hold the breath, right? So the body reaction is totally opposite when you meditate. You if you want to get meditate for the peace.
yeah, and that's one of the parts that one of my stumbling blocks on my journey is because uh, my experiences in the past and my own personal traumas that I've been through, growing up in kind of a very dangerous neighborhood in Brooklyn. It was different when I was growing up from when you guys moved there. As you probably heard, in the 80s and the 90s, it was very violent, and that was part of. I picked up some trauma along the way, and a lot of stuff is felt in the body. A lot of the fear was gripping in the body. So it's been a long process to relax, that part. And I wonder, is there any work that you do or anything that deals with the body and sort of stuck energies in the body and things like that?
Yeah. I actually have a own trauma too in my from my past, and I never talk about people about it. But when I took a yoga training in Brooklyn, I met wonderful teachers and wonderful friends, and everybody is so lovely there. And then it's the yoga teacher training is have to be like open up, like crack your heart up in a short period of time. And then yeah, we did it, and then we just crying and talking, and sometimes fire ceremony to burn out all the sadness in the past. So that whole thing, I think it's kind of like realize, oh, I was holding it because it was too horrible to look up.
Yeah.
And then I not sure if I look back, and if I'm not sure if I okay or not. I mean, I still not sure to look back. I'm not sure to ready, but like teacher's training, okay, you goes down, right? Okay, my turn. And then And the teacher goes, you don't have to tell in front of anybody, just write a note or a journal, and then you can just burn away. It's the same thing. Which way you can choose is your choice. And then I would think just burn away, but like this is a great opportunity. I never heard, you know, lovely people, 20 lovely people in front of me, and I just want to spit it out. And that experience is kind of like change my thoughts. Oh, I don't have to, I don't want to tell everybody, but at the special occasion, and I have a connection with those people. So I love them all. So I just told my experience, and then, you know, it's new, amazing connection happen after that. So yeah, trauma.
Yeah.
I have a trauma too, so I kind of understand what you say. And people describe me like outgoing, always happy, but like I kind of hide it in a darkness behind. I used to feel that way. I didn't fake it. Like a bright part is always true me, but like, of course, you know, yin and yang, right and dark always have that, right? Like this. So like this, right? Yin and yang, right? So
Yeah.
connected. There is no person like only light, or there is no person all dark. I don't think so. It's part of like balance and harmony. So which one you choose or which one you focus is different thing, but yeah, everybody has a size. And then I think that one of the meditation and the yoga teacher training we did, it's a loving kindness meditation. Maybe you heard of it before, right? Loving.
Yeah, yeah, I have.
And then teacher came, the author, I forgot the name of her, I'm so sorry. But the author came, and then we did a loving kindness meditation. We all together in the one room. And then the person, the people or from your past you don't like, or you feel like they beaten me or something like that, that person put in a ship and then bye-bye to the ocean, and then they go to the island and nobody's there. They just bye-bye. Something like that worked. And then I just started crying. And then why the bad person, you know, bad people or bad memory, just put on a ship and then go to the ocean is idea, but like imaginary, I did that. And then I was like, oh my God, all the bad things going away. And then I feel released. And at the same time, wow, just the imaginary, right? Did that as huge release after that. I feel light. And then yeah, so kind of mix work, so helps.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of things there, and which are great. Is
talk about it.
yeah, the you know, using your imagination to kind of you know, like we believe sometimes we take a lot of our negative thoughts to be true, and we sometimes identify with them, but those negative thoughts are, you know, are imaginary too, you know, at the source of it, if we go down to the root. So why not change the perspective, you know, and use the imagination to, you know, kind of help to rewire the memories and the brain. I don't, there's even a science behind it, which I'm not going to pretend to know, so I'm not going to talk about it. And it, yeah, and also that experience you talked about with the friends at the yoga studio, it sounds like you felt a safe environment to bring consciousness to what some people call, Carl Jung calls it the shadow side. So those aspects of ourselves, those memories, those things that we push away, that we don't really want to see, and we present, the light part, the part that, is kind of in alignment of an idea of what we think other people will accept, but we are all parts, being a human includes all of these different parts. And if we ignore or repress them, certain parts is going to come up in other unhealthy ways. So I'm glad that you're talking about this, because I think this is what we're seeing in the United States. It's taking place in a lot of different ways, on a collective level. There's this unconscious material that's coming to the surface, and we see it in the violence. We see it in on social media, with the way that one side attacks the other side, using very negative language and being very cruel to each other. And we can use some of that loving kindness meditation, towards ourselves, and then towards other people, so.
That's right. Yeah. Using imagination is, I think, so powerful, more than we realize it, because like imagination is all we have, big or small. And then use your own imagination is I think your gift. It's a huge gift, is imagination. You can use in a good way. Yeah, I use so much imagination, and it get me here, I think, because I always wanted to farming, and then just touching the soil and then growing our own vegetable. That's kind of my strong dream. And then just use my imagination, and then I'm here and I have a garden. I just grow my vegetable now here. So if I use the imagination in a bad way, I don't think I'm here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use whatever you want, your imagination, right? And you can build good thought or niceness or pure loving things. And also you can, grow hate or, hate each other, or I don't like that, I don't like that. You can choose both. Plants is so many plants in your here, right? So you can just,
and it becomes part of, it becomes part of the part of your reality in a way. And I'm glad you talked about the you using your imagination and to be where you are now, farming and this, and I'm guessing that took some courage, and it also took some of your having a kind of being established in that inner sense of peace as well, because would you say that is sort of the source of where all of this kind of springs from?
Yeah, my grandma always told me, be nice to people. And it's simple, really simple. But if you doing it, it's not easy to do it. Sometimes you're, rush but any circumstances, any situation, if you be nice to the person next to you, your whole world is kind of like peaceful. So
that's a great message. And so we talked about imagination, and creativity is part of that, and you move into Maui, and so that would be a good segue into how your venture into the world of kimchi. And so we talked about meditation, finding that source of peace, and using imagination to I think we all have this potential, that's unique to each person. And part of why we are here is to activate that potential. And so can you talk a little bit about what led you to your journey with kimchi and nutrition?
Right. This is kind of same liver for me. Fermentation, meditation, yoga practice is like be nice to person, all the same, like a circle, right? And then I was born and raised in Japan, and I grew up in just a authentic Japanese family. And then we make fermented food at home. And every home has a batch for the family thing, and great grandma's recipe, right? And sour plum or miso or fermented food is very familiar to our food culture. And then I was loving it and just watching my mom and my grandmother gathering and doing it, and the smell, and then it's like a whole anchor me. And then, oh, this is so, I love, and then taste, and oh, Yuko, you taste too much, and taste. And so all the memory I have. And then, so it's like a very natural to me to just making my fermented food. And but moving to Brooklyn, and I got a fermented buddy and friends, because Japanese people in Brooklyn, and they can buy stuff from the store they don't have, so they started making it, right? It's kind of like big community to making fermented food at home in Brooklyn. And then I was kind of practice each other, or at the point in my apartment in Brooklyn, like 100 of jars just line up. It's like a laboratory, and then every day. So I make kimchi, of course, pickling, and then miso, and then all the stuff. And then one day my friend came, and he was a vegan. And then the kimchi usually put the fish sauce, right? So he couldn't eat. And then I was thinking, oh, this is sad, he cannot eat. And then I started making my own recipe, vegan kimchi. And then vegan kimchi is open to everybody, right? So I like the idea. I personally, I am not a vegan, but I'm sorry.
No, go. You want to have some water? Yeah. So the vegan kimchi, is that, would you say is that a new way that people have been making it, or is the authentic?
Yeah, authentic.
Okay.
And also originally from Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, and then very popular thing in Asian country, right? And then, but nobody has made vegan kimchi. And also, I'm always wonder where this nappa came from, right? And I'm the kind of person always when I want to know where this vegetable came from, because I wanted to farm. I always interested in farming and gardening and soil, what the soil came from or something like that. So I'm research or call the company that sell the kimchi. No one used the organic kimchi.
So people were
but
people weren't using the organic kimchi. Oh wow.
They use organic, safe, good quality of thing. Kimchi is gonna be more expensive, I think. So that's why they use. I understand all that, but I'm just curious. If I make, grow a kimchi from the seeds and napa cabbage, and then I want to wash the napa cabbage, and then I make a kimchi from it. All the stuff, carrot is organic, and everything is safe thing, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be powerful medicine that I must thought. And then I try, and then I started doing it, and I got amazing reaction from the people. They love it. They like, oh my god, I never tried. I even gave the Korean friend, because they're expert. They can tell like this kimchi is good, bad, and
Yeah.
then and I have a friend like a I call Korean mom in New York, and she's like, "Mm, okay, which means she couldn't speak English much. She's like, like yes. So then we just,
Wow.
yeah, we just built original things, and then people starting want to learning how to make a kimchi. So I invite people to teach how to make a vegan kimchi at home in an easy way. So then yeah, then now here I grew up vegetables, and I easy to buy organic farm from the mountain and making a kimchi. So it's kind of like my ferment journey is continue. Yeah.
That's great. So when you were in Brooklyn, were you growing the Napa cabbage? Did you have like big pots or something or
No.
okay.
Here. I mean, I am a member of a community garden in Brooklyn, in this small garden, but like they gave me a small bed, and then easy to grow, but it takes subway ride 15 minutes or something like that. So my baby was too small to carry two babies and go there. It's kind of hard. So yeah, once in a while I get to see the community garden, but like not much. Right now it's a garden is right there. So like every day, every morning, look at my muscle. Farming, not from yoga.
Well, that's great. I mean, I what my dream is to one day learn how to farm it, and I think you know, my wife Christina, she's great. She's really like a botanist. Basically, she loves plants and she's really that's where her heart is. So you know, one day I think with the way that the world is going now, I think we should all learn how to live a sustainable lifestyle and yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about one thing I'm curious about, you know, because I had stomach issues, digestive issues for all of my life. And it's only the last year I was seeing a acupuncture specialist who really helped to turn, his name is Enoch, and he has a studio called Sojourns, a studio here in Pelham, New York. It's a little plug, but he really worked on my my gut and gave me special mega probiotics and told me what types of food to eat. And I drink kombucha regularly. I love it. And for about like a year now, my stomach's been it's been really great. It's actually changed the way that I eat. I don't feel like I have to. I was overeating before, and I think it had something to do with not eating the right foods, the way that my digestive system was working, and partly mindfulness. You know, not listening to my body. You know, now I'm listening to what my body's telling me. What are some of the health benefits that you've noticed in yourself or in other people from eating fermented foods?
Yeah, actually, that's a lot. That's a lot of benefit, right? You can just dig in Google and then you can find a bunch of benefit. But from my experience, sleep well. I sleep well, and then my husband is actually my husband is a more feel like a benefit, because like he always eat my fermented food, and his skin so shiny. I wish he's there. He's here. And in Asian country, we said the Korean people has the best skin and hair because of the kimchi. That's what we call. It's like we all call it. Then I feel like the same way because eating the fermented food, microorganism each meal, and then it works to your gut flora, right? And then yeah, it's not like a quick thing. You have to eat like a small amount every day, and then you,
I see. So, hello. That's okay. I love the sound of kids, and so it's nice.
sorry.
So yeah, the microbiomes, and I'm just learning about all of these things, and you're right, it does take some time. So it's so it can be put using kimchi as a sort of a side dish, in your meals.
A small amount is fine, and then just eat with avocado or kale salad, or yeah, or you can saute with some tofu or something like that. You can not only kimchi, sauerkraut, like a German, original German cabbage pickle, sauerkraut.
Oh,
Right?
sauerkraut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but not with hot dogs. That's a different.
sauerkraut is like no different. Yeah.
Yeah, well, here in the States, there, a lot of people would put sauerkraut on top of hot dogs. But
Ah,
maybe they were doing it for the microbiomes and didn't know it.
you know it. But it's easy way. You can just cut the vegetable at home and put the sea salt, and then mix it with your hand, because you eating it. Don't worry about it. And then actually, it's good thing. It's right now. It's germs. Everybody say that, right? But it's actually we are all microorganism, right? Inside and outside. So no worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worry about it. You are strong, and your stomach is gonna be really strong if you just or you don't want to use hand, just spoon, mix it, and then put in a room temperature in a jar, and then it's simple way to pickling, and then you can eat microorganism. It's natural way. It's so simple if you
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
And I think so obviously with COVID-19, people are very, very cautious about germs and sterilizing their hand and everything. But I do think we need a certain amount of these things to help build a healthy, strong immune system as well.
You're stronger than we are imagining, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So let's see, where should we go now? We're almost at the hour mark. We've covered so much.
Really?
Yeah, this conversation has been really
Busy.
nice.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's see. So we talked about your business, and what are you doing with your business now? Happy Vegan Kimchi.
We can we can gather much right now. So I don't teach in person, but I'm a set up online class if you want to know, or if you want to try at home, easy way to making kimchi, or not kimchi, just non-spicy pickles, which it's same benefit to you, and then you can just make it at home. It's simple. So I'm gonna build the class now, and then also I teach meditation and yoga only online now, and then I kind of stopped teaching yoga because it's so hard to doing it online for me, especially. And then my students are all beginners, so it's very nice to in person, right? So I can just teach. But like right now, it's kind of stopped on the meditation online class, and then kimchi or pickling online class. I'm just building the stuff.
Okay, so what I'll do is when you're ready to, offer that, or I'm not sure if you're offering the meditation now, but I can post links to those as well, of where people can contact you for those. And I'm glad you talked about the pickles. That's one recipe I'd also want to, besides the kimchi, because I kind of stumbled across the little dill pickles, and it's not spicy. And I've been craving them every day after my meals. I eat a couple of those, and I think that's helping a lot, but I want to learn how to make it myself. So.
Actually, really easy. And ended up, you're gonna line up 100 jar in the kitchen, like me.
That's great. So as as you know, this is a guided meditation page, and what we normally do in the spirit of the guided meditation, as I told you before this interview, I asked the guests if they'd like to lead in a short 3-minute guided meditation, and you said you agreed, and you said, but sometimes you go on a little long, like 7 to 15 minutes. So what I'll do is, if we are going on long, I'll do a little bell, give you a little reminder or something. Okay. 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 So folks, let's everyone get in a relaxed position, and you take over, and we'll do the guided meditation.
I cross my, okay. Crisscross applesauce. I can do it. I can do it, right? Can I do it? Or you
Yes, yes. No, you do it.
Okay. Everybody sitting in a comfortable position, and close your eyes, or just looking at the tip of your nose, and inhale gently and hold just 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and exhale. You can exhale through the nose or mouth, either way. And inhale and hold and exhale everything out. And inhale. Try listening to your own breathing in and out. Your breathing sound is like ocean. And exhale. Each time you inhale, you in fresh air, and hold and exhale. Inhale, keep breathing. Today, I'll be kind to you. I'll be kind to myself. Just only today, start today. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale. And please, your hands, right hand on your stomach and left hand on your chest. And keep breathing. Inhale. And exhale. You feel your heart beating on your hands and stomach moving. And you breathe. You have your body. You have your body, and you can breathe in and breathing out. Inhale, hold, Exhale. Think about your loved one. I'm thinking about my grandma. Inhale and exhale. Slowly hold out. Inhale. Exhale. Your loved one, you passed already, or you are far away. We can meet each other right now, but you are here, and I love you. Inhale and hold a little longer, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Thank you for your time, and thank you for me to sit here. Inhale, hold, exhale. You are beautiful. Just keep breathing, listening to your own breathing sound. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Feeling your hands and hearing your breathing. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. I'm gonna chant in Sanskrit a little bit. You can stay what you are and breathing, okay? Loka samasta skino bhavantu. Loka samasta skino bhavantu. Loka samasta skino bhavantu. May all the beings be happy and free from the fear. Inhale, hold, and exhale all the negative thought out of your body. One more inhale and hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Okay, everybody, folks, hands together in front of your heart, if you can, and hands to your forehead for the wisdom. We all have a wisdom from the ancient people, and hands to your lips for the truth. You can speak from your heart, and then hands to your heart, love and compassion. Namaste, everybody. All right, hands to your stomach, and slowly come back here and open your eyes. Slowly take your time, no rush. Okay, thank you.
Namaste. Thank you. That was so good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and the Sanskrit, there's one. It might be a little bit differently. It sounds similar. aloka samasta saki no bhavantu.
Loka samasta suki no bhavantu.
Yeah.
Loka samasta suki no bhavantu.
That's
It's my question, May.
I love that one. I do that one every night when going to bed. And there's, I don't know if you ever heard of the Huggin Saint Amma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. So she requested her followers, the devotees, and I'm not sure if I can. I really have this. I feel drawn to her, so she suggested saying that every night and every morning. So that's when you said it, I was that's a very nice one.
I like the mantra. It's peaceful.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you, and thank you so much. Good to see you. I'm just going to make some closing announcements. Okay, thank you for joining. This is Guided Meditations and More. My name is Ade Richardson. This is normally 8 a.m. Eastern Time meditations, but usually once a week we've been hosting a interview with spiritual teachers, seekers, and various people on the spiritual path. Today we had the great pleasure to have Yuko Furukawa. She joined us today. We were talking about nutrition and spirituality, and I'll post some links to where how you can get in contact with her. And sorry. So thank you for joining. And on Monday, I'm going to be interviewing. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Ran Osha. He's going to join and talk a little bit about his journey. I'll post a flyer for that at some time today. Thank you. Much love to all. Thank you.
Loka samasta suki no bhavantu.